I know you began as a song and dance man. When was that?
I was 19 years old. I'd just gotten out of Stuyvesant High School, and I was going to Columbia, and somebody said they need a boy in this act, and so I went. That's all.
And how long were you working as
11
song and
years.
dance man?
11 years, trying to do the best I could, make a living with the dancing. Anything that came along, we grabbed. And wherever there was 5 cents in it, we took it. So, and then when I went to start in show business, just a question of a job. That's all it was, a job. And I didn't care what it was.
How
but
did it come
paid.
about? Somebody...
Well, a fellow was working with me at Wanamaker's. I was wrapping bundles there, and he said one of the boys just quit in a vaudeville act up at the 81st Street Theater. Well, the years went that way. Yeah. So I said, how much? $35 a week. Hey, that was a lot of money.
Yes.
So I went up there and...
Had you had any experience dancing or
None.
singing?
Couldn't move a leg.
You just had
Guts. Gall. That's oh boy, that's right. No question about that.
You met your wife during that time?
Mm-hmm. Well, the year that I went in show business, let me see, a year passed, and then I got into a show called Pitter Patter, and she was in the chorus there, and I was in the chorus there. So we got to know each other, and that was fine. We were married 2 years later.
And her name is Willie?
Willard.
Willard.
Yeah.
And she was not a New York City girl, was she?
Born in Iowa, farm girl.
A farm girl.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
60. 60 years.
60
When
years.
is it? Tomorrow, I think, 60 years.
Congratulations. With the same woman?
Oh, sure. You're quite a gal.
What's the secret to the long, happy marriage that you've had?
No, make no demands on each other.
How did you first get into the movies?
Well, I was in a show, and Joan Blondell and I were picked by Al Jolson, who bought the show, and he was going to be the producer. And the next thing I knew, I was on my way to Hollywood, because he got his recommendation.
What was your favorite role as an actor?
You mean the one that I played in?
Yes.
Oh, Yankee Doodle.
Why?
It had everything. It had everything. It had warmth, family, and all the things that enter into making good pictures was in that one.
You had to do quite a bit of dancing, and rather tricky dancing.
Well, I made those are the things that I've been doing for years and years and years. Don't forget, I was 11 years in vaudeville before I got into pictures. That's quite a long time. And then between 1930, when I came into pictures, and then from that point on, I was still dancing, doing the thing that I'd always done.
Did you imitate George Cohan's style in that picture?
As much as I could, you know. I don't kid myself that I could do what he did, but he was quite a guy.
You're remembered equally well as a song and dance man and also as a criminal. How did you approach each of these roles?
In the song and dance thing, I just reverted to type. I'd been a hoofer, became a hoofer again. When they played the hoodlum thing, that was again reverting to type, because I was raised with the tough guys, you know.
You did the movie Ragtime. After so many years of retirement, you decided to come back and make a film. Why did you do that?
Doctors. They said, get that man busy, to Mrs. Zimmerman. And she did. Oh, boy.
Got you real busy.
Yeah, she was ready to pounce on me and keep me busy. And she did.
Good.
No problem at all.
Well, we're all glad that you came back. How was that experience?
Oh, easy. No stunt. But there was one scene where I had on I was supposed to play Tata, the old man. And somehow or other it didn't work. So they got a young man to play Tata. And they gave me Police Commissioner Orlando Waldo.
Were you surprised by the public's reaction to your return to the screen? There was an overwhelming kind of joy about it.
No, not at all. No, just another job, really. And it was good to get back and good to feel the fellows working. So it all worked out very well.
What were the chief changes in movie making that you noticed in your experience, both in early years and later years?
I really don't know. I don't see any great difference, because when I went about it, it was just a question of doing the thing as best I could. I wasn't thinking the other fellow at all. I was conscious of his abilities, but no doubt about it that there were those who knew how to go about it when they were on there, and I appreciated that. It's pretty much the same. You appear on the set, walk on the set, and do what's required. Have a rehearsal, and then do the job.
Is it true that they don't make them like they used to? How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know whether they can't make them the way they used to, because the difference of budget and everything, all that else that enters into it. But I do think that they're fine in what they're trying to do.
Just out of curiosity, what were the budgets on some of those films?
Well, the picture that I was working on, which made a hell of a hit, quite a hit.
Which one was that?
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy, yes.
And
is that the one where you put the
that's the one, yeah.
the grapefruit in the lady's face?
Yeah, yeah.
Bad person.
She didn't mind it.
No. Well, what was the budget for that?
$165,000.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now they're talking 24 million to make a
That's
picture.
right,
and more.
sure. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but there it is. That's
the way it is.
the story of the picture business.
Which of your own contemporaries did you admire most? Are there any that you remember fondly as people you admire for their acting skills?
Oh, sure, Pat O'Byrne, a good actor, excellent actor. He doesn't do what I do, hide in a corner somewhere, but he likes to be on.
What do you mean, hide in the corner somewhere?
Well, I don't throw myself in front of the public without something to do. And he'll go on, do anything, anytime.
He's more of an extrovert.
That's right, yeah.
Would you describe yourself as an introvert?
I guess so. People have called me that.
Yes.
God help them.
What young actors most impress you today?
Well, there's a boy named Martin Sheehan. Good boy, awfully good. He knows what he's about. And he's about, I guess he's about 30 years old. And I think he's able as can be.
When you were working again, some young actors were associated with you. What's the question that young actors most often ask you?
Well, I do know that they asked Tracy, how do you become an actor? And he was a very direct kind of fella. He said, learn your lines. He was right.
What does James Cagney say?
You walk in, plant yourself, look the other fellow in the eye, and tell the truth.
What do you mean?
Oh, you just you tell the truth. Say the thing that is in the line itself. You just say it, without any embellishments. It's when they start to play with it make the line important.
Is being a star a problem? Going out and mixing among people?
No, that's all. I don't know about being a star. That's the whole point, I think. If you're conscious of stardom, fui.
You don't look upon it as anything important?
No, it's a job to do, and you try to do the best you can. If it adds up to the so-called stardom, that's good.
How did fame affect you?
Never occurred to me. Never occurred to me that I was famous or anything of the sort.
Altogether now, how many movies did you make when you were in Hollywood?
I think there were 65, if I remember rightly.
And of the 65, how many were tough guy parts?
I guess most of them. I would say most of them.
Were you happy about being cast in that type?
Didn't matter. Didn't matter at all. A job to do.
Mr. Cagney, it's really an honor and a pleasure to be with you, and we're very happy to award you the Christopher Award